In today's awesome podcast, we're going to talk about how going raw vegan can completely change your life. You guys hear me say it all the time, but nothing has changed my life more than adapting a fully 100% raw vegan diet, no cooked food, transformed my life, got rid of all my health problems, and truly makes me feel like my best self. Gives me energy morning till night. And I just wanted to show you guys, if you're looking for something amazing to help keep you excited about this lifestyle, to help keep you on track with this lifestyle, I love this new 𝒔𝒂𝒗𝒆. It is a blender and a juicer in one. So I make so many amazing things in this. I make my daily lemon ginger blast green juice by Lou Corona, who's 71 and he looks so young. And I make all my sorbets, smoothies. I just made these 4 amazing raw vegan pastas in here. And the blender warms it up a little bit. It is just perfect. So I can't speak highly enough for this. I absolutely love it. And I have a special offer. You guys can save $80 on one right now with code Gillian80. I will put it down below, and let's hop into this amazing podcast. Okay, I'm really excited. Today we have a return guest, someone who is a regular on this channel, someone who's amazing. We have Shane Sterling from Raw Vegan Rising. And we're going to talk about how going raw vegan in 2024 completely change your life, or can completely change your life, like it has for both of us. And we're going to tell you guys how to get started, what to do. You guys have some amazing questions as well. So let's hop into it. We want to look our best, want to feel our best. And Shane, you look amazing. You're turning 51 soon, and no Botox, no fillers, right? This is the raw vegan glow, right?
Raw vegan glow, baby. Hello, Gillian. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it so much. And hello to all of the viewers watching this video. You know, my prayer and hope for you is that you can find some inspiration in this video and really realize why a raw vegan diet will actually change your life for the better. You know, our society leads us down a path, and it's not necessarily a good path. People are sick, people are struggling. We have to be smart enough to get on the right path. A raw vegan diet will invigorate our mind, our body, our soul. And we're here to share with you, me and Gillian, the amazing benefits that we have experienced. We want to share it with you. We want you to be part of our team. We want you to come on the raw vegan journey and feel the amazing transformation. It is worth it. You know, and so many people are struggling. You got back pain, you got joint pain, you got nagging health problems, autoimmune issues, whatever it is. You don't have to live with that, but you do have to get committed to learn about raw food. Try raw food. If you go raw vegan for a week or a month, and then you go try cooked food again, you're going to realize how amazing it made you feel. So you don't necessarily need to know what to do. You just need to start. That's my message to you. Get on the path. It's a narrow path, but it leads to your freedom. And me and Gillian are both on that path, raw vegan all the way.
All the way. We are. It's the best thing I've ever done. Literally, hands down. And the food, it's not just the food. It's not just the diet. Oh, I'm changing my diet. Like, it expands to so many other things, and can change, not saying always, but it can change your whole life, right? Your money, your relationships, your friends, your career, like everything. So what do you think for somebody watching and, you know, they're not feeling so great? They don't have the best habits. They're still going out for pizza and wine and still eating those burgers, going through those fast food chains, and maybe not hanging out with the best crowd, stuff like that. What do you think the differences can be if they decide, like, this is the year, I'm going to commit to this, I'm going to go raw vegan, I'm going to get really healthy? Like, what do you think the differences can be in their life if they stay on, you know, the bad habit track, or they jump on what we're doing, like the more health conscious raw vegan lifestyle?
The normal cooked food track, pizza and wine, is going to lead you down the path of more aches and pains, more health problems, more inflammation. When you go raw vegan, the reason it gives you so many benefits, like Gillian was talking about, healing benefits for our body and our mind and our soul, it is for our vitality. When we have true vitality, what is that? Well, it's energy, it's clarity, it's spiritual purpose and meaning. When we have purpose and meaning driving our life, invigorating ourselves, our mind and our body and our soul, it gives us a special edge. It gives us the edge that we're all looking for, but not many of us have. People in society want to stay the same. They don't want to change. It's hard to change. This is why we are here sharing this information with you guys, saying you can change, join our team, We're going to help you. We're here to share powerful, life-changing information with you. You just need to listen. You just need to side with people who are doing it and not go down the path of the normal cooked food diet, because it is not leading anywhere you want to go. Also, this is a movement. Raw food is not just about the food. Okay, it's a movement for people who are really special. Okay, this is for special people. And if you feel called to the special movement that is going to make you the best version of yourself, you've got to listen. Okay, because this is your hero's journey. This is what's going to make you the best version of yourself. So when we start on a raw vegan diet, there's a learning curve. We have to try it out. We have to experiment, and we need the proper guidance. Okay, do not do it alone. Do not be in isolation. Do not think you're going to do it as the lone wolf figuring it out all by yourself. You just simply don't need to. And isolation is the devil's playground. Isolation is how we fail. You need to team up. You need to seek accountability. You need to seek support. You need to seek the methods and the practices and the protocols that are going to educate you, inspire you, and uplift you so you can feel the true vitality. And that vitality, clear eyes, skin, hair, thoughts, spiritual awakening for you, that is going to be what changes your life. Then you get clear on your money. Then you get clear on your relationships. Then you get clear on what you're going to do with your life. It lifts you up, and it's absolutely incredible.
Yeah. And why do you think this food, like how we eat, has such an impact on everything? I think people don't really realize, like, the raw foods, the juices, eating clean, like, it has such an impact on how we feel and our mind and our body and how we run and our whole life. Like, why do you think it's such a difference, the raw foods versus just eating whatever like everybody else?
Well, raw foods have three special characteristics that are non-negotiable. Okay, raw fiber, for one, which cleanses the bowels. Our whole body is a system. It's a machine. It's a biomachine, and it's a really special, very sacred machine. Okay, this is our sacred temple. We have to keep the temple clean. They say cleanliness is next to godliness. Cleanliness starts in the bowels. So the food we eat has to clean the temple as we eat it. Okay, so fresh, raw, living foods, raw vegan foods are filled with whole, raw fiber, and it sweeps the GI tract clean. If you cook the food, you ruin the fiber. Okay, so it doesn't have the same cleansing ability. Also, water in fresh, raw, living foods filled with water. Okay, so that hydrates the cells, that lubricates the bowels. It helps the bowel transit time be fast. It helps clean the temple, obviously. So then we're going to just feel just so much better from the hydration in the food on a cellular level. And also enzymes. Enzymes in the raw living foods are absolutely critical. It's non-negotiable. Every single metabolic process in your body requires enzymes. So if we start to feel aging, aches and pains, joint pain, back pain, nagging problems, enzymes help the body recover, recuperate, regenerate. Enzymes transport electrons into the mitochondria of the cell. Enzymes help our body feel and look its best. That's why God created raw living foods for us. Okay, all food is raw until we mess with it. All right, so we just have to stop messing with our food, and then we get all the benefits. And look, going raw vegan is not a life sentence. You don't have to be raw vegan the rest of your life. You just have to purify your body, get out of the slump that you're in, reclaim your health, reclaim your empowerment. Don't beat around the bush, reclaim it right now. And then when you heal yourself, then you can decide if you want to have a little cooked food or how you're going to master your life, because ultimately this is about self-mastery, okay? We don't want to go down the path of society. Look, our society's splitting into two camps right now. People that want to uphold and maintain the status quo that's dying, that's failing, that doesn't make us feel our best, does not support us. And then there's those who are on this awakening movement. Like I said, this is for special souls who feel the calling in their heart. And if you feel the calling in your heart, you got to say yes. That's what you got to do. You got to say yes.
And don't you think it's a big difference if someone goes fully raw, like in 2024, new year, new you? Don't you think it's a big difference if someone goes fully raw, like just tries fully raw versus like still having the cheat days and eating the cooked food too? I mean, if it's a matter of not staying on track or whatever you need to have that, then I mean, by all means do that or whatever. But for me, it's such a huge difference in how I feel and changing my life being 100% raw versus like adding in those cooked meals.
Absolutely 100%. So I've been a raw vegan coach since 2017. There's thousands of people in my group coaching program, Raw Vegan Heroes, and I see every day people posting about their struggles. They want to be raw vegan, but they're having a little bit of cooked food, or they did a juice fast and then they go back to having a little bit of cooked food. Oh, I'm 90% raw. Oh, I'm 95% raw. This is just holding you back until you rebuild your gut microbiome. Because again, remember, our sacred temple requires immaculate gut health. Okay. And gut health takes time. So we have to invest. And I say the best investment is 100% raw, at least for a period of time. You owe it to yourself to feel it. Give yourself, I would say, a year minimum. So look, you might say, a year, Shane, what are you talking about? Look, you're going to wake up in a year either way. Who are you going to be in a year? Are you going to be
True.
that person who stuck with a fully 100% raw vegan diet, healed your gut, reinvigorated your life at the highest level possible? Are you going to still be sneaking that wine and pizza and feeling like crap? Now, one thing I will say as a raw vegan coach, what I have learned is that even 1% cooked food in the diet will keep the body from detoxing properly. Okay. 1% cooked food keeps the body in a holding pattern, in a status quo. The body doesn't want to release old waste. It doesn't want to detox properly when you're eating even just a little bit of cooked food. It's like a reminder to the old you. So by giving yourself that gift of 100% raw for 1 year, it lets the body let go. All of the old you gets to be let go of, and you get the new you. Okay, this is why it's going to transform your life in 2024. Now, it is an investment. You have to have the discipline, the structure, but the narrow path leads home. You owe it to yourself. And my group coaching program, Raw Vegan Heroes, has got thousands of people doing this. So seek support, seek accountability. Don't isolate yourself. Don't do it alone. You
Mhm.
need support. Join a team, join people who are successful, learn. You don't have to know how, you just watch what other successful people do. And proximity effect, it rubs off on you. Next thing you know, you made it that year. And now you have something miraculous to compare it to. You have a whole year raw vegan. And if you do go back to some cooked food, you're going to feel it. And now you can make a choice. Do I go back to that cooked food lifestyle? Do I bring some in? Or do I stay 100% raw and take my life to the next level? And you can choose. But until you have that under your belt, the 1 year experience, you're going to be in confusion. And I experience this all the time. I mean, with thousands of people, you're going to be in confusion. You're going to be in the questioning. You're going to be like, why isn't this working for me? Why don't I feel my best? Shane and Gillian talk about this. Why am I not experiencing this? The difference is that 1%. Okay. You got to give yourself the gift of 100% raw for 1 year. That's going to be the miracle you're looking for.
Yeah, because it's different for everyone too, right? When I went raw, I felt incredible. Literally by the end of the first day, I'd never felt better in my whole life, like better than any high, any drug. I was like, wow, this is crazy. I just want to scream it from the roof. This is what's meant to be. But with you, it took longer to feel good, right? So I was going to ask you next, like, what can people expect if they go to 100% raw? And you guys, we're going to talk in a minute about like what to do, how to get started. But what do you think people can expect? Like they can expect different things, right? Like if someone's watching thinking, what do I expect? What's going to happen? How would you answer that?
It's a great question. Everybody has this question. What should I expect? Well, okay, our body has to go through a little bit of a transition. Okay, our gut microbes are used to the foods we've been eating: meat, dairy, eggs, grains, fried food, cooked oils. So we've built this microbiome based on those foods. The first thing that's going to happen is you're going to feel the withdrawal symptoms. You're going to feel hunger and craving. So how do you deal with that? You eat more raw food. You stuff your face. You give yourself permission to just eat until you are satisfied, even if that is overeating. I tell all of my clients this, and I highly, highly encourage you to let go of the fear of gaining weight. We're all restricting calories, trying not to put on pounds, but the transition of the gut microbiome requires that you just eat. Feed your body with the fiber, the water, the enzymes. Don't worry about overeating, because on the other side of that gut transition, you're going to lean out, you're going to have the body composition you want, and you're going to realize the incredible freedom of a raw vegan diet. But the first threshold that you have to make it over is letting go of the fear of gaining weight. Everybody's got that. Experience it so much. So give yourself permission to just eat. Now, once you do that and you've been eating for a while, you're going to have some detox symptoms. It's different for everyone. If your body's toxic, if you're holding extra fat on your body, if you're eating fried food, alcohol, cigarettes, wine, pizza, your body's going to be toxic. And where do those toxins have to go? They've got to come out of your body. So that's going to be the detox process, or the healing crisis, people call it. Now, a healing crisis is the most miraculous gift you'll ever get. People call it a crisis. Don't be afraid. You got to go through it to get your freedom on the other side. But what you can expect from a healing crisis is perhaps one of the most challenging things you've ever done, or perhaps it's pretty easy. I don't know. You're going to have to go through it for yourself and see. For me, it took me about 2 years to feel good consistently on a raw vegan diet. I made a video early on in my detox phase called The Healing Process. The detox process is ugly and intense. So there can be our demons, our shadows, our emotional blockages, our limiting belief systems that come up. So this is where we have to seek support. You don't want to go through a healing crisis alone, because you're going to fail. 100% you're going to fail. So if your detox process is on the harder side and you have more challenging experiences, if you're around other people who are going through it, who have gone through it, who are rooting you on, saying, hey, come on, you can do it, you're going to succeed, period. End of story. You're going to succeed. If you listen to society, you're going to have the nagging voice in your head, go back to meat, go back to animal products. You got to eat that to be healthy. Our society tells us, our friends and family tell us, our traditions tell us, you got to break free from that. So the hurdle out of the tractor beam of old paradigm cooked food animal products is being willing to go through your healing crisis. That's why I said it's the most miraculous gift you will ever get. And for me, it felt like laying down my soul on the altar of transformation. Like I had to let go of what it was going to be, what it was going to look like. I had to let it get messy. I had to let it get ugly. I had to let it get intense. I lost myself. I completely lost myself. And you know what? I found the real me on the other side, the me that always wanted to be. And here I am today, a living testament to the power of a raw vegan diet. I'm a motivational speaker. I've gone through my healing crisis out the other side. And I'll tell you, a year, 2 years through that detox process is absolutely worth it, 100%. The other thing you can expect is challenges from friends and family, okay? This is the other major thing. People aren't going to understand. They're not going to support you. You've got to be a warrior. This is why I say this is a special calling for very special people, sensitive people, empaths, light workers, modern mystics, truth seekers, okay? If you are one of us, then this is the calling for you, and you got to put on the blinders for a period of time. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to have answers for your friends and family. What I recommend is thinking of yourself like in a chrysalis. You're going to go through this beautiful transformation, but there's going to be a time period where you got to shut out the world, okay? This is the surrender process. This is your personal amazing transformation. Do not let the world in. Put on blinders. Okay, so this is what I say to my private clients all the time as they're going through massive detox, massive transformation. Put the blinders on. Don't think about friends, family, the world, coworkers, what is going to happen, who you're going to be. Don't worry about it. Just go in, put the blinders on, and you're going to go through the metamorphosis to become the beautiful version of yourself.
Yeah.
So that's what I have experienced, years of working with people. Those are the biggest challenges. That's what you can expect.
Yeah, well said. And I think another thing people can expect is energy, right? Like that's the biggest thing for me, unless they're still going through the detox process and maybe they're not feeling so good through that process. But for me, like the biggest thing I've always done it is luckily I didn't go through any crazy detox, but I know it's common for a lot of people to go through it. But for
Mhm.
me, it's the energy. Like I feel so much energy morning till night. So like for a viewer, for you watching, somebody watching, I feel like that's how it can really change your life too. This raw vegan lifestyle is the energy you can possibly get. Like I have, like that's the reason I do it. I have 2 kids. I run around, do a million things a day, and I'm never low on energy. And I don't get very much sleep because of my kids. So like that's a huge thing because we want to feel our best every day, right? Don't you think that's a huge, huge thing? Do you notice a big difference with that?
A huge difference. Yeah. So people want energy. They hear us talking about the amazing energy. And like Jillian's detox experience was very mild, mine
Mhm.
was much more intense. So, depending on your detox experience, you might not get energy right away. But if you go through the process, what healing gives us is vitality. Vitality includes energy. Energy gives you clear vision and purpose and a revolutionary way of seeing yourself, thinking, and feeling about your day.
Mhm.
Also, what I've experienced now as a raw vegan of 6 years is that I don't need as much sleep. I don't need as much recuperation. I work out at the gym every day. I recover better from workouts and I just sleep less. And this is one of the biggest transitions I went through. And I think it points to the fact that sleep is where our body detoxes. And if we're eating cooked foods, we
Mhm.
need to sleep longer because our body is using that sleep time to detox. But when I go to sleep after eating fully raw vegan dinner, I wake up feeling amazing. Now, if you just stick to that, if you just eat a raw vegan dinner every day, month after month, bam, you're going to get that energy. And the energy is really revolutionary. I would say the energy is what led me to want to be a raw vegan coach, to start my group coaching program, Raw Vegan Heroes, to start a new business, change my life completely. I actually, years ago, I was running brick and mortar stores, I was running clothing stores. I had a women's yoga clothing store, I had a
Mhm.
costume store. They were amazing. I was earning millions of dollars with my clothing stores. I sold them and I
Mhm.
transitioned my entire life to be a raw vegan coach and to advocate for a whole raw plant based diet. Because of how it made me feel, I knew it was the path of my destiny. I knew that there's nothing more valuable than teaching, educating, uplifting, and inspiring people to try it. Get off the animal products, get off the cooked food because that's keeping you sick. If you've got pain in your joints, if you have a hard time getting out of bed, if you're overweight, if you're not shining at the highest level, get off the cooked foods. You owe it to yourself. It's going to give you energy through the roof and it's going to change your life. It's so worth it. And I'm talking to you right now. You hear me.
100%. Well said again. And I think a big thing too is the happiness. I don't think we've touched on that, but I think that's something that people can expect when they go raw. That's been a drastic difference for me is the happiness and like the depression faded. And I used to have major anxiety and that's gone. And like just the happiness, the overall happiness, like the set happiness level is so much higher on the raw foods, on these living foods. It's hard to feel like anything but happy overall. I'm not saying like everything is rainbows and butterflies. You still experience all the emotions of life, but my happiness is drastically higher on this lifestyle. Wouldn't you say that's a big thing too?
Yes, I believe 100% you are correct. I have the same experience. And I believe it comes down to gut health. I mean, we are like
Mhm.
95% microbial, right? I think 95% of the DNA in our body is not even human, it's microbial, ancient microbes that have coexisted with humans from the beginning of time. Millions of years, these microbes have evolved with us. I mean, we have to be honest about what we've created in our gut. Okay. And when we change our gut, we change our mood. Our food becomes our mind. When we eat fresh, raw, living foods, it becomes the way we think. It becomes our place of solace, our comfort, our energy, our reason, our purpose. It becomes everything is highly motivational to eat raw vegan. And it really does reduce anxiety. It reduces depression. It reduces the struggle in life. So many people are struggling in life and don't put it together with the food they're eating.
I
However, the
know.
food we're eating is the most fundamental thing that we do every day. What we put in our gut, our GI tract is like a compost pile for the root system of our body. My dad taught me this years ago. The gut has to be like a compost pile. A compost pile, to be healthy and provide all the nutrition and microbes for a healthy garden, requires actively decaying organic plant matter only. You cannot put animal products in compost because it putrefies the compost. So our gut feeds this garden, okay? And if we want our garden to flourish at the highest level in our thoughts, in our energy, in our anxiety and tendencies for depression and kind of hopelessness, it's the garden, okay? So we have to put the actively decaying organic plant matter in our gut to get that next level consciousness. And healing depression and anxiety is not just about not feeling that lowness anymore. It's about breaking through to become the best version of yourself, where you become a leader, where you become inspired to live on purpose. A raw vegan diet puts you on purpose. Gillian and I are both examples of people who are on purpose, changed their complete life around to advocate to people to share the power of a raw vegan diet. We are a living testament. Gillian?
100%.
So if somebody doesn't understand, you don't have to know. You got a team with us. We're here helping you. We're saying, come along with what we're experiencing. We both have our hand out for you listening right now. This is a movement bigger than all of us. It's life-changing, and it's for the souls who are called. You don't have to go look. Most people aren't going to be called. Okay. Most people don't want to change. They want to eat pizza and beer and steak. Okay. But if you're someone who's like, I don't want to be eating like that, then join the movement and you're going to get the benefits. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Amazing. Well said. I love the compost analogy too. If somebody says, well, I want to do this, but I'm surrounded, I know some of the questions we're asking that too. I'm going to get into the questions now. If they say I'm surrounded by people who don't eat this way, society doesn't eat this way, I have such a hard time with the cravings. Any other tips for like how people can get started and fight all that off and zone all that out? Any extra tips? Because people are always looking for more information on that.
Well, I mean, in my experience, there's no question you join Raw Vegan Heroes, my group coaching program. We've got thousands of people. You need team, you need accountability, you need community. Look, there is no transformation in your life without community and accountability. Okay, if you leave your journey to the default world, you're going to get the default results. So this is about investing in a new crab bucket where you get the reflection back that your choices are the right path. Okay, eating raw, staying off of animal products is reflected back that this is the right path. There's no other way to do it, because the person with the strongest vision wins. So if you don't invest in a community with a like vision to support you on a daily basis, you're going to fall back into the default world. The default world is the matrix. It's the matrix of control. It's the military industrial complex, the factory farming system, the food corporations. They've hijacked your mind. They've hijacked your friends and family. God bless their souls. But if you're seeing through the hijacking and you have that calling, you invest in a community. This is why I started Raw Vegan Heroes. I sold my $1 million clothing stores to start Raw Vegan Heroes to support you. I saw the vision of thousands of people from around the world, millions of people from around the world getting the support they need to be plant-based, to be whole food, raw plant-based, to detox their bodies, to go through the healing crisis, to go through a juice fast. You get the protocols, you get the support, you get the knowledge, you get the wisdom. That's how you get the transformation. There's no question. That's what I created Raw Vegan Heroes for. And it works miracles.
And it's great.
I mean, it works miracles.
Yeah, I joined your group before I started YouTube. And it's been great. I've met a lot of my close friends in there. I met you, and I love the lives. I go on your live every Friday, and you're such a motivational speaker. So
You
those are
do,
nice. Like
Gillian.
they're so good. And I was gonna say too, like I've been in therapy the last little while. Dr. Doug Lyle. I don't know if you know him. He's my therapist. He's amazing. And he's really made me realize like we're tribal creatures, we're tribal people, and like we really need a tribe, and like that's really important. So I think that's where like you're right, like you really need the support, especially with this path because it's so unique and it's so different. And I want to touch a little bit more before the questions on how to start. So if somebody's just like, I have no idea where to start, how to get started, what should I do? I know there's lots of different methods people can start. Like they can go raw for 2024 or whenever, like cold turkey completely, or like raw till 4, or just like transition or a juice cleanse. Like in your opinion, what do you think is the best way to start, and any advice and tips you can give people for like, should they clear their pantry? What should they buy at the grocery store? All these things.
Yeah, based on my experience working with thousands of people over the years, you owe it to yourself to go 100% cold turkey for a
Hmm.
period of time. It's just ripping the Band-Aid off. It's actually really fun and really easy. You can celebrate with Raw Vegan Heroes. I say just start eating raw food. And now this is what I did. And I talk a lot about this in my YouTube videos. So I highly recommend actually watching some of my YouTube videos on this topic because I really go into depth about my story. I recommend just doing 100% raw. Try to figure it out, do the best you can. And then when you hit some sort of a detox where you're not feeling so good, that's when you do a
Hmm.
juice fast. You could jump into a juice fast. I advocate a juice fast to start. Now, some people, you might hear people say juice fasting is not good, not healthy. You don't need to remove the fiber. A juice fast is a temporary intervention protocol to help you transition to a raw vegan diet easier. A juice fast is for one purpose and one purpose only, which is to remove the mucoid plaque out of your digestive system. We have accumulated waste, plaque, and biofilm, which slows transit time, inhibits absorption, and keeps us from getting the most out of raw foods. So if you do a 40-day juice fast, you follow my protocol very closely. I've developed this over years and years of working with people. It's simple, it's
Hmm.
fun, it makes the investment worth it. Look, a juice fast takes time, it takes money, and it takes effort to do it properly. If you follow my protocol, it will reduce the money you spend, it will reduce the time you do it, and it will increase the benefits. It's a really good protocol. So you do that first, you cleanse the bowels, and then I have a part 2 to my protocol, which is how to rebuild the gut microbiome after a juice fast. This is how to break the fast and how to rebuild the gut for the most robust compost to fuel this sacred vessel. Okay, so I outline a whole year. The protocol gives you a year-long plan. In addition to that, I have my 14-day meal plan, which is included in Raw Vegan Heroes. It's an instant download. The meal plan gives you shopping guides, recommendations for your pantry, full meal planning. So you do a juice fast first, and then you've got the meal plan to help you redo your kitchen, completely redo your kitchen. Okay. And then in addition to that, not only do you get 60 amazing recipes, I worked with a master raw food chef to develop that meal plan. It's very, very high caliber meal plan. But then you get the amazing community. Every single
Hmm.
day, people are posting recipes, shopping trips, meal ideas. So you watch what others are doing and you're like, oh, that's how they went shopping. Oh, that's what they're doing in their pantry. Like, oh, that's what they're doing. And it educates you on how to do it. So those are the steps you need to take. One, I recommend you either go cold turkey or you just start with a juice fast, one or
Hmm.
the other, but inevitably you're gonna have to do a juice fast. It's non-negotiable in my experience and in my opinion. Make the journey easy for yourself. Make it fun and enjoyable by cleansing the bowels, getting the plaque out, increasing absorption. Also, it's very important. I need to say that when you juice fast, something miraculous happens, which is that your body becomes hyper efficient at absorption. So if you have a tendency for anemia, nutrient deficiencies, low protein intake, anything like this, you don't have to worry about a raw vegan diet being low in iron or protein because we're increasing the absorption of the body. This is why a juice fast is very, very important as a first step. Also, helps you get the most out of the food. So after your juice fast, you're just going to be able to get high level of nutrition like you've never got before in your life. This is part of why it heals you. This is part of how that vitality comes, and you get the energy by doing the juice fast first. So juice fasting is incredible. It's miraculous, and everybody should do it.
And I would say in most cases, like if people do a juice fast and they do it properly and they're feasting, drinking enough juice, don't you think in most cases, especially like you see it a lot, like it's one of the most transformative experiences people have in their whole life. Like I would say my 37-day juice fast was hands down 100% the best I ever felt in my whole life. Don't you think like people feel amazing too? And then they're like, wow. And then like, you know?
Yes, a juice fast is incredible feeling. My
Mhm.
juice fast was one of the most incredible experiences of my life. It literally changed my life. It changed the course of my work, what I was focused on doing. It gave me a vision of what I wanted to do in my life. That's why I sold my clothing stores, became a raw vegan coach. I became a juice fasting coach instantly because I was like, oh, yeah, this is it. During a
Mhm.
juice fast, you're going to feel sensations of extreme energy and clarity, and even almost like euphoria, like gratitude for life. Like, there's nothing that reduces anxiety than gratitude, like a full wave of gratitude. I remember sitting on the couch looking at my family at the time, my wife and my children, and just going, holy moly, I'm at a higher level. They can't understand what I'm experiencing right now. I felt gratitude for
Yeah.
life. I felt gratitude for everything in a way I'd never experienced before. And so a juice fast is not only physically supportive to our body and to transition to a raw vegan diet, but it just is a euphoric, incredible experience that everyone should experience. This is why I'm a juice fast coach and have helped hundreds of people, why I've dedicated myself to this protocol I've developed. So when people look at my protocol, when they follow this protocol, it allows them to have a really good experience.
Yeah. Okay. When I went raw in 2016, I just went cold turkey with the food. Like I didn't do my first juice fast until 2019. But if I were to start over now, I think I would probably for sure do like a 30, 60, or 90-day juice fast to start and then transition to the food. But I mean, I'm sure there's a few people out there who are like, I don't want to start that way. I just want to go on the food. Or maybe like they don't have a juicer, they don't have a blender, they don't have a budget for that. Or they're like, can I just do the food? Like you can just do the food too. If the juicing is not an option for you, like I did that. I just transitioned with food. I just ate the food. I felt amazing. But hands down, like the juice fasting is just a whole other level. And I think it's a great way to get into it too, because it's another level. It literally you feel so
Yeah.
connected too. It's amazing.
Yeah, I highly recommend you invest, you save up for the juicer, you save up for the produce it's going to take. Maybe
Mhm.
it's $1,000 to do your juice fast. That's the best investment in your health you're ever going to make. I mean, we're talking about a disease-free lifestyle. We're talking about no medications for the rest of your life with this lifestyle. Yeah, $1,000, 800, 600 invested in a juice fast is highly worth it. So if you're somebody who can't afford it, you're
Mhm.
questioning it, you save up. Put yourself on your priority list and you save up for that juice fast. It's going to
True.
be highly, highly worth it.
And that's an abundant mindset. I like that. It's not like the lack mindset, it's abundant. I like that. And if you guys want to save on the juicer I use and love, I'll put a code down below so you can save. And somebody said, okay, let's get into questions. I'd miss something hot. Do people make soups, which are a hot smoothie in a way? Like a lot of people say that too. Like I'd miss something hot. For me, it's no issue at all. I never do. Do you miss hot foods? And what would you say to that?
I absolutely do not miss hot foods when you feel the power of raw foods. I prefer
Hmm.
the raw foods. There's no question I prefer it. However, if you want to have a warm soup, like for the holiday season, if you want to make a Thanksgiving warm soup, you use a blender. You can just use like a Vitamix blender and warm up your soups in a blender. And it's just like cooked food, except it's fully raw. So yeah, you can have warm food. You don't have to this is not a life sentence. And I say this to my clients all the time. This is not something you are giving up. This is something that you're incorporating in. You're getting more. You don't have to give up warm food. You're getting more energy, more vitality, more nutrition, more incredibleness. So if you need to have a little bit of warm something to eat, yourself a dehydrator, get yourself a Vitamix blender, and you can make warm foods that are going to feel just like cooked foods. But it supports your biology at the highest level. It supports your gut health. And that's the key. If you are really eating cooked food like pasta and pizza and bread and rice and grains, even whole plant-based cooked vegan like potatoes and Indian food and all this, you're going to be operating at a subpar health. And I guarantee it's the cause of your struggle. It's the cause of your health problems. It's the cause of why you're overweight, why you don't feel your best, why you wish you were kind of just having a different experience. Don't settle any longer. Have a warm soup, fully raw vegan. That's all you need. It's going to change your life.
Absolutely. And somebody said how to maintain muscle through the raw food.
So when your body's absorbing better, I have extensive training videos in the Raw Vegan Heroes membership. I have an entire training on how to build muscle as a raw vegan and the complete guide to raw vegan protein sources. Instant download in your member library, extensive trainings on this because everybody is afraid to lose muscle mass, wither away, lose weight. But like I said, you're going to be increasing your body's absorption of nutrition. That means you will recover better at the gym. You can put on muscle easier than ever before. I'm 185 pounds. I lift 225 bench press. I lift weights because I'm strong and energized. I have to do something with this energy as a raw vegan. So I go to the gym and I lift weights. Okay. Then you get strong. Then you get buff. Your bone density is good. And you just eat the proteins in the raw vegan diet and it doesn't make you acidic. If you eat cooked proteins, animal proteins, it creates so much bio waste, bioaccumulation in your body. You have to eat raw vegan protein sources, increase your absorption, and go to the gym, and you're going to look and feel the best of your life. I've been fully raw vegan for 6 years. I'm 50 years old. I'm 6'2", 185 pounds. I obviously have not withered away. So I help educate people on this, especially men who don't want to look frail, don't want to look thin, don't want to look weak. If a man especially is concerned about losing muscle mass, bro, trust me, okay? Lean on my certainty until you have your own certainty. You got to trust an expert, somebody who's been through it. There's nothing to fear. You just have to go through the detox, get your body efficient, eat the raw foods, and you're going to come out the other side.
100%. Okay. And somebody said, what is wrong with extra virgin olive oil? What is wrong with honey? Do you consume those things or no? Do you consume oil or honey?
No, I do not. I do not. For me, extra virgin olive oil, even if it's cold pressed, is a refined oil. Look, I do not need refined oils in my life or my body at all. For oils, I eat omega-3 rich sources. So to gain muscle, to be robust, to look and feel amazing as a raw vegan, I eat lots of protein and lots of fats, okay, but not isolated fats. I go for whole food fats and I focus on omega-3s. I have a quarter cup of flax seeds in my smoothie every morning. I go to the gym. I come home. I eat chia pudding, high in protein, high in omega-3s. I put hemp seeds on my dressings, in my salads. I make hemp milk. I mean, I will literally blend up hemp seeds into a milk and just chug it down. It's super high in protein, high in omega-3s. And that way I'm getting whole food fats. I also recommend we get about 20% of our calories from fat. I'm not an 80-10-10er. I'm not a fruitarian. I don't advocate low-fat diets. It's not necessary to restrict. If you're someone who's like, oh, I got to be 80-10-10, yeah, good luck with that. You're probably going to fail. If you just eat whole raw food, you're going to be on the lower fat spectrum, yes, but you don't want to restrict. So that's why I recommend 20%. It's a good balance. Track your macros for a couple weeks. See where you're at. Get 20% of your calories from fat. Is going to change your life. Omega-3s, flax, chia, hemp seeds, walnuts, almonds, and pecans. Those are my favorite. I have them every day.
Nice. Okay. And somebody said, what is the best way to go raw vegan in the midst of cooked food eaters making a mockery of you? I kind of think if people are trying to make a mockery of you, they're not the right people. I mean, I get it. Sometimes these people are family and you don't want to cut those ties and whatever. But with friends, if they're making a mockery of you, I think they're just not the right friends. But what would you say to somebody who says that?
Well, the question is, who are you? Who are you? Are you going to be at the whim of somebody's judgment on you? Look, keep their praise and their criticism is just a projection on you. Your only job as a master of yourself, your sovereignty, to be a leader is to be focused on your vision. your vision of who you are, what you want, what your destiny is, what your calling is, and do not listen to what anybody else says. This is why we've got to be self-referencing. It's lonely at the top, people. Yeah, it's lonely at the top. If you're going to be a badass, if you're going to rock your life, be an amazing raw vegan, you're going to be going against the mainstream. You're going to be marching to the beat of your own drum. And who doesn't want that? Do you want to be a sheeple? Do you want to be asleep in the matrix? Well, don't worry about what others say. What I say is be radically self-referencing. Reference your own internal supply. Man, get high on your own supply. And remember these words. Other people's praise and criticism is just a projection on you. They do not know you. They don't know your purpose and your mission. Your only job is to be in alignment with your soul purpose. Okay, so if you don't know who you are, you're going to be worried about what other people think. Get connected with your soul purpose. Feel your own supply, God's divine light within you, guiding you to be your best self. That's it. That's all you got to do. Who cares about the haters? Me and Gillian have so many freaking haters. Did we let it stop us?
No.
Absolutely not. I don't care if people project onto me. It has nothing to do with me.
True. It's so true. And it's like you say, yeah, don't listen. Like if you're going to really take in the good people say about you, then you're going to let the bad affect you too, right? I don't know. You worded a lot better than that, but yeah, it's so true.
Yeah. And this is part of reclaiming the abandoned parts of self, because really at the core of this concern about other people, we have low self-esteem because at some point in our life, our heart was broken. We were betrayed. We abandoned a part of ourself that is deeply repressed in ourself. This is the shadow work that I do with my clients. I'm very experienced in leading us through where our shadow and repressed parts of ourself that generate low self-esteem. Okay, and when we clear that, it's actually more of a really owning and a reclaiming and a reloving of all of the parts of ourself that have been abandoned. Our self-esteem goes up. Then we choose raw food. Then we choose to be a leader. Then we feel our own supply. But look, if we're wounded and we have a repressed, self-esteem and trauma in there, it's very hard to feel the amazing spiritual supply that God has for us in our hearts. So you got to do the shadow work first. Is actually a huge part of the work I do with people and my private clients, especially when people work with me. I take them through the process of revisiting the wounding of where we've abandoned ourselves, because that's at the core of worrying about other fools out in society. Okay. And because I've healed myself, I don't worry about a single word out of anybody's mouth. I choose my mentors very wisely. I choose my mentors based on the results I want in life, and everything else is basically just tuned out. I love people. I love, the world. I don't like the behaviors of the world. I choose intentionally to be at the highest level of success in my life. I'm highly intentional with everything I do. That's why I'm a raw vegan. So if you want results like I have, you have to be highly intentional. Do not let other people influence your mind and the way you think at all.
Absolutely. And somebody said how to start on a budget. I have a video on that. I'll link it down below. But any other tips for somebody if they want to start it on a budget, they have a limited budget?
Yeah, Gillian, so many people are concerned that a raw vegan diet will be too expensive. I've found that a raw vegan diet actually is not more expensive at all. It's healed my lack and scarcity. I started coaching. I'm a highly successful coach with thousands of clients. It changed my financial abundance reality. Now I have unlimited resources to buy as much food as I want. Going down the raw vegan path is actually about healing your scarcity. Until you get there, though, what you have to realize with the budgeting, this is so critical. You have to understand this, is that the first thing we do is we go into the grocery store and we think, oh, I got to buy peaches, but it's January and peaches are $6.99, $10 a pound. We have to buy seasonally. We have to buy what's on sale. We have to learn the skill of how to eat. This is Earth School lesson number 1, how to relearn how to eat properly. Okay, so we're buying seasonal on sale foods. I buy the best foods for the least amount of money, but it took me a while to understand how to do that. It takes practice. It's not like buying pasta off the shelf that sits there for 2 years. Okay, we have to relearn how to buy. Also, greens are always cheap, always in season. Make your green smoothies, make your salads, rely on greens year round. I am a big fan of greens. I mean, I put a pound of greens in my smoothies. I will eat a half a pound of greens in my salads at night. Lots of greens. Okay. So that's always available. But if you're buying fruits and other things, you just have to learn how to do it seasonally. And then, like I said, it takes you to the healing part of yourself, healing the lack, healing the restriction and the poverty consciousness and the wounding and the low self-esteem. Then you're like, oh, I actually have a real calling and a mission in my life. I'm on purpose. The vitality leads you to your life purpose. Then you start a new career, you make real money, you have abundance, you have unlimited money for food. That's the path.
True. That's true.
That's
I have way more abundance raw too than I did before. Yeah, that's a fact. Even if it takes time, you just have to get through that hard period. Yeah.
I mean, just as an example, I might spend $4,000 a month on food. I don't even blink an eye. I might spend $8,000 a month on food. I don't even think about it. I don't look at the receipts. I don't look at the prices. I don't budget for food. Food is my source. Food is my path to vitality, health, and abundance. So for me, I always prioritize the best food, but it took me, it's like a paradox. You got to get over the hump. Start with a juice fast, go fully raw vegan for 1 year, join Raw Vegan Heroes, get coaching from me, do your shadow work, and you're going to heal your abundance issues. Then you can spend $4,000 a month on fruit and not even blink an eye. Okay. That's the path. That's where I want people to get. Okay.
Yeah. And somebody said, can you ask what is the best way? I think we need to give more clarity on this because people always wonder, what do I eat? The best way to eat from morning till last meal in the day, which supplements are needed, what are the best foods to choose from? And all that. I mean, for me, I like to start the day with coconut water. Lately, I do in-season fruits I eat through the day with green juices, and then like a big salad with homemade dressing or a raw vegan pasta for dinner. But that's what works for me. There's many different ways you can eat. What do you find? What would you suggest for someone asking what to eat? Like if they're talking like not juicing anymore, what do I eat for a full day going raw?
Well, do you have a plan to follow? Without a plan, you're kind of left to your own devices. I mean, are you going to succeed without a plan? You need a plan. You need to team with a raw vegan a team and community for accountability, number one. Okay. But then ultimately, you got to find what works for you. What works for Gillian might not work for you. What works for me might not work for you. I personally say start your day with a smoothie, have some time to yourself, exercise your hour of power, come back with some fruit, with some green juice, and have a big, robust salad for dinner. You got to make sure you're getting all of your macronutrients. Okay. And this is why people need coaching, because it's not just about the food, it's about the macronutrients and the nutritional density in the food. So you got to make sure you're getting optimal nutrition. Look, when I'm eating high nutrient density foods, it satisfies me on a cellular level. At first, it might not satisfy those microbes that have hijacked your brain with their craving that wine and that pizza. But if you transition your gut microbes, then it's not the demand anymore. You can feel hunger, but when you eat nutrient density, it's like a deep cellular satisfaction. It takes a little while to get there, but that's what you want. And you just got to do it. You got to get messy. You got to get involved. You got to go down the path. You got to say yes to raw vegan. So smoothie, fruit, juices, chia pudding. I mean, big salads with nuts and seeds. I recommend 65% of your calories from carbohydrates, raw fruits and vegetables, 20% of your calories from omega-3 rich sources of fats and proteins, and then 15% of your calories from proteins, from greens, superfoods, nuts and seeds like that. That macro balance is basically the secret to my success. It'll work for you too. Not at first. You got to transition the gut microbes, and then the nutrient density makes you feel real satisfied.
Okay. And somebody said, what would be one or two things you recommend to have on hand that could make you successful at this?
Let's see. One or two things to have on hand. You got to have your favorite things on hand. So for me, I love blueberries. Right now is blueberry season. Okay, so I'm in heaven because I go to the store and the organic blueberries are cheap and delicious. So for me, I go and buy out the store. I make sure they're good. I'll taste test a little blueberry and then I'll go and buy 20 packs, stock my fridge, and I have them for days and days on end. That's what makes me feel successful. Also starting my day with a lot of calories and nutrient density is a really big key. I would say if you start your day first thing with 1,000-calorie smoothie with bananas and dates and superfoods and greens. I'm just on moringa. I've been doing the moringa powder, which I love. Or you can do like a vita-mineral green, which is one of my favorites, or a barley grass juice powder, nutrient density in the morning, plus bananas and dates for calories. You're set. I mean, you're not going to be craving food like within an hour. So you got to have the calories in the morning. That's what I have on hand. Calories, nutrient density, and my favorite fruits.
Yeah. And I think just have the patience to hang in there for the taste buds to change and realize like you most likely will fall in love with all these foods. It just could take a little bit of time for your gut to adjust. And don't you think it's really important when people start this lifestyle that they eat enough and that they're always prepared? I think that's really keys to success, like eating enough calories. I think a lot of people fail because you need a lot more calories on this lifestyle. I feel like a lot more food intake in most cases, not every
Yeah.
case. But I think a lot of people fail because they're not eating enough. And then they're like, I feel hungry. I feel weak. Like, what the heck? But like, you got to eat more, right?
Yeah. I mean, every day people are saying, I tried a raw vegan diet and I lost so much weight and I became almost anorexic and I couldn't maintain it and it made me sick and this and that and the other thing. You're not doing it right. You're not seeking guidance. You don't have a coach who's in your corner. You're not on a team. You're not on a raw vegan team. Okay. Nobody's going to fail when you're on a team because what does a team do? A team rallies around you and says, you're coming along with us because we're on the up track. Right. So if you don't have a team, yeah, you're surely going to fail at that point. So you invest in a team, you invest in a community, you invest in accountability, and you're going to have the results that you're looking for. When people come to me and said, I tried a raw vegan diet and I almost became anorexic, I'm just like, you had no support. You had no support. You didn't know what you were doing. You didn't know what you were eating. You didn't track your macros. You had no guidance, no meal plan. So yeah, okay, you failed. Well, that's on you. If you don't want to fail, you just join a team. Okay. So that's really my best advice.
Yeah.
You have to eat enough on a raw vegan diet to feel good. And again, it goes back to the fear of getting fat. Everybody is afraid to get fat from eating too much food because they're on the old cooked food paradigm. When you're eating cooked food, potatoes, starches, pizza, meat, and steaks, and all of these things, yeah, you're going to get fat from those foods. Yeah. But when you eat raw vegan, it's so nutrient dense, filled with fiber and water, higher volume. You're not going to get fat, but you got to get used to that. Your body has to go through a transition. And to do that transition, you have to overeat. You got to just stuff your face for a period of time, whether it's a month or 2 or 6 months. Who cares if you get fat? You're not going to get fat and you'll lose it all anyway as a raw vegan. I mean, look at Gillian and I. Are we fat? I mean, I eat all the food I want. So it's not going to make you fat. I'd say that's one of the biggest thresholds, the fear of getting fat, food restriction, the old cooked food paradigm. It's so low vibration. It's so mundane. It's so dull. It's so ridiculous that science is telling us that we get more nutrition from cooked food. It's absurd. We get so much less.
I know.
It is absurd.
And you really have to try it yourself. You feel it to believe it. Feel it. Try it out, you guys, because it's just bam, life changing, right? And be prepared. Like I was saying too, no matter where you're going, be prepared. I think that's really key too. Because if you're not prepared when you're going places and then you get hungry, it's easy for people to fall off and then they don't stick to this and then they never realize how it is to feel good, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. Absolutely. Yeah. And to feel good and to know the difference, you got to just stick with it, and experience it for yourself. You can do it. I know you can. Love your little sacred temple. Love yourself. Give yourself that gift that can only be given by you to yourself through self-love, through the narrow path of self-love to raw food, unmessed with raw food.
Yeah, you're right. You can do it to the viewers because if we can do it, you can do it. I used to drink wine every day. Every day would be like barbecue, burgers, steaks, like everything, you name it, pasta, pizza. Like
Oh
My
my
lifestyle
God.
was the complete opposite, and I would not trade this for the world. It's the best thing ever. So this
Yeah.
has been amazing. This has been the best interview ever. I love having you on. And if there's anything else you feel we missed, anything else you want to share with somebody watching right now about how to start or how this can change their life, how it's changed your life, anything that comes to mind. And everybody go join Shane's group. It's amazing, Raw Vegan Heroes. I joined it even before I started my channel. It helped me get through dark times and helped me connect. We need our tribe. We need everything. Shane's amazing. I'm a big supporter of him. And I've met so many amazing people on this journey too. And so that's been a big benefit. And you can feel the same, go through the same, meet amazing people too. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Gillian, for having me on. I really enjoy talking to people. I'm an advocate. I've transitioned my whole life to talk about this, to help support people. And I would really just like to leave people with the message that a raw vegan diet is the best diet in the world. It's the diet that's correct for our human biology. It is our species-specific diet, and you will be supported on a biological, spiritual, and emotional level with raw foods. So step one is you go through amazing healing. Okay, you're going to go through the healing transition process. It's amazing. It's worth it. Step two is you start to feel the vitality come out, the energy and the clarity. Three is the clarity of vision starts to lead you down new pathways you've never experienced before. Step four is your spiritual awakening happens. You get that spiritual connection, the feeling of the divine matrix around you that leads you down unpredictably amazing paths for your life. And then also join the movement. This is a movement for very special souls who are called. And if that's you, if you are called, then join Raw Vegan Heroes, get part of a team that's going to support you. So Gillian, you'll put the Raw Vegan Heroes link in the description.
I'll put it down
of
below
this.
in the description box. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm in there as well. I go on the lives every Friday. Well, I try for every Friday unless I'm traveling or filming. But yeah, I'll put it below.
Yeah. So when you join, you get a welcome email with everything you need. That's my juice fast protocol, my 14-day meal plan with shopping guides and pantry recommendations. You can start with the juice fast, start with the meal planning. You get our amazing community of thousands of people. Just jump in, get the support, be part of the movement. You deserve it. That's my prayer and my life's work dedicated to help you. If you're really uncertain, lean on my certainty until you have your own. Be a fly on the wall for a couple months. Watch what people are doing. It'll lead you down the right path. It's literally my prayer to you.
I love it. And to you guys, the viewers, you guys deserve the best year ever, the best you, the best life in 2024. So I hope this video has given you some inspiration for taking more positive steps and just creating your absolute best year ever. And I love you guys so much. I hope this truly added value to your day. And subscribe to this channel for more. I'll put 2 amazing videos on the screen right now that you can continue watching. And we will see you in the next one. Bye.